Hello traders, welcome to Spy Money. I've had several people ask me about how I set up Thinkorswim and how I have a lot of different things. Probably one of the biggest things I have is this little tool up here, and everybody says, how do you get those little tabs to stay up here? And these are the ones that I use all the time. So instead of hitting your mouse button and coming down and picking what you want and trying to figure it out, I have this set up. So I'm going to show you how to do that one, the first one. And what you do is you go over to your style and you come down here to My Tools on each chart. Okay, so currently yours is off, so it'll be off right there. And then you come down here and you turn it on. You can turn it on to a single panel or on each chart. I want it on each chart. That's how I have mine set up. Because every time I open up a chart, like if I come over and I come over to this one and then I type in yes, then it will, well it should, there it is. This one is made to where it will go up and down as far as, you know, it's not thumbnailed or thumbtacked, I guess you'd call it. And if you look right here, this is the thumbtack. And if you take that off, then it will disappear, and when you come up it'll touch it. But I like it to show all the time, so I have that thumbtack to where it will always be there, because sometimes when you move your mouse up to this area, the drop down will not come down, and I hate that. So that's how I do it. Apply to a grid. I don't know what that does actually, never used it. So but you go over to this little cog is what I call it, and you click on that, and then you got this add button. Now if you don't have anything here, like if I delete this one, now the add button will be there, so then I can add it, and I come over to drawing tools, and then you just add whatever you want. Here lately I've been using some arcs, so that's what I do. It only allows you to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these up here. And this is the order that I keep them. You keep them any way you want. You don't even have to use them. And once you get done, you click done. So that's how I have those up there. Another thing that is really helpful is if you use your mouse button, the scroll, and do it by itself, it will make the screen go back and forth. If you have your control button at the same time, it will actually make it bring in a lot more area. And then if you click, left click and then hold and drag over wherever that shaded area is and you let off, it will open up to that screen. So let's just say I want to catch this run here. So I would come into right there, come over, and boom. Now if this is, you know, say you want to see above this or below that, you come over here to your price edge, and then you go ahead and click and hold it, and then you just drag it the way you want. So you left click and hold. Now once you get there and you get, say you get all out of whack, and then you come over here and try to do this and it's just completely out of whack and you don't know where you are, well, if you come up to here, you can click auto and it will automatically redo it. So now I'm holding the control button down and moving this back and forth to get it in there again. Now I want to show you another little trick. If you drag this, instead of going up there and have to do that, if you just double click this, you left click, double click it, and it will make it go back to auto. So if we come back up, it says auto. Okay. Now some of your scaling features, you can make it to where it will automatically fit in the high-low, you know, the low of the day and high. And so I don't like that. I like just to see where it actually is. Now this predicted price ranges, I leave it on. I really don't know what that does, to be honest. I don't really fool with it. It's just been like that forever, so I don't even know what it does. So that's one thing I do. So a lot of people will say, well, I can't get any more space right here, and they know that, you know, I have a lot of space. I mean, I just keep on going. So they say, well, how do you get those, you know, that extra space there so I can see it? So what I do is go up here to the settings, that little cog up here at the top, come down to time access, or time axis, and I usually keep it on 400. And what that 400 means is 400 candles from right here past that will let you have that open space. So that's one thing you can do. I usually use 400. Some people like less or more. I do a lot of charting. So if I'm charting something, see how this blue line is here? So if oh, that's another thing here. If I control and then click, left click, I can drag this up and down, okay? Or you can go into your, well, I don't have it up here now since I added the fib arcs. But if you come down here and go to your drag tool, then you can drag this anywhere you want, okay? So yeah, as long as you got that little hand, you can put it wherever you want. So you can do that, or you can just click right here. So if I'm trying to find where this is going, and this is an actual charting that I've done on the NASDAQ, the /NQ, that's the future, and this is where I believe that we're going to be going long term. And I'm hoping that today, instead of dropping anymore, we had a double bottom. So I think, depending on how it opens and runs tonight, which is like in an hour and a half tonight, depending on where this will go. But if this keeps on dropping down, I will move this down to the very bottom of, where it actually reverses, and then I'll change this up here. But as of right now, this is where I think we're going. It looks like 16.7, and it looks like we're probably going to be about the end of January is probably about when that's going to go there, and that's based on charting, which I'm not going to get into. So we're just going to talk about tips and tricks. So if you want to move this around and see where you're going, again, that's how you do it. Again, you control click, and this will bring over, and then you can actually just click and hold that down, and then you've got your what do you call that? I guess just a bar to where you can move this back and forth. So that's how you can get around in the charting. Okay. So again, if you're just trying to get where you want, and then where you are right now, you're kind of out of whack, you don't know where to go, you just double click and you go right back to the main chart. So that's a few things that a lot of people ask me how to do. As far as setting up studies, you just go to studies, click edit studies, and you can click on whatever you want and add over. I'm not going to go over each one, but that's how you do it. And let's see, what else? Instead of clicking on studies, going to edit studies, you can just click that, and it goes right to the study. If you want to, I know one. Let's say you want to share this screen with someone. So you've charted out something really beautiful, and you just want to share that. Well, you go up here to these three dots, come down to take screenshot, and now this is what you're actually sending. So when you hit copy, and then when you copy, then it will actually save it. It's like a copy paste. Control C for copy, Control V for paste. And then when you go over into another area, let's say you're going to a Discord group or your Facebook or whatever, then you can go ahead and right click, click paste, and it will paste the link to this and show that chart on something. Or you can just save this. So if you saved it, you come down here and it'll open up, and you just tell where you want it to go. If you want to print it to your computer or to your copier, then you can print that out. So that's how I actually do the screenshots. A lot of people don't know how to do that. Let's say, let's see here. I didn't write anything down. I'm just kind of winging this. Those are probably the biggest things that people don't know how to do. I do have watch lists set up. If you want to create a watch list, you come down to the bottom, click that little plus, and then you come up here to watch list. And then in here, you can come in and pick whatever you have it saved. So let's, for instance, I have some scanners set up. And if I go to here, for instance, I use this one all the time. It's a scanner I made, and what it does is it looks for underlines that are coming out of a squeeze, rather going bearish or bullish. I don't care which one. I just want to know when it's coming out, because I can play puts on it or I can play calls on it, whichever. So in this case, we are looking at those two. Now when you set up your watch list, you come over here to this right here, and then you click whatever color you wanted to use. So I use this charting as yellow. Everything, as you can see, is yellow. Now if you wanted to have, say, another chart come up, and you could set this one for red, and then you could have this one come down for the red, and now when I click on it, it will open up that over here. And then as far as the style, let's make this the same, and I'll even show you how to do that. There's different styles that I use. So like on this particular one, this is a 4-hour chart, but it came out of the squeeze, and let's go back into where it shows the squeeze, TTM there, and that is on a 1-hour scan that we've got over there. So this is showing that it came out of that squeeze, so you can see that green dot right there. Okay, so that is showing that we just come out of this red, and then when that green pops up, that's showing we come out of the squeeze, and it's actually going down. So this is actually showing, if you know about how to use the squeeze settings, then this is showing that that's going to be probably long bearish now. Not always, but usually after you get about 5 red ones, and it'll usually turn to the green. Usually you're better off to wait like a couple greens just to make sure, but more than likely this is probably going to just go bearish. And if we look back at this, you can see where, let's see, where did it go? So this one's not showing a very good example, but right there. So we come out of the red, went to the green, and you can see right there how this one ended up going bearish, but it turned around and went bullish on it. So, you know, but you'd have to know how to use your squeeze settings. But once you understand how that works, you can use this scanner. It took me a long time to make this. It's not something I give out, but it's a scanner that actually looks for the squeeze. And it's looking for all optional stocks, because I don't trade underlines unless I can trade options on them. So on this one, you can change these. So if you had a third one out there, and let's just say you had a third one, then you can actually make this one a different color. Okay, so you might make that one the number 3, this is a 1 and a 2, and that way anything that comes up over here, like you can have different watch lists and stuff that will show, you know, what's going on. I'm going to show, let's see, I don't have anything, let's see here, no. Okay, that account, I don't have any trades open. That is what I use for future options. I scalp with it. But if you don't have a, like if you have trades, you can put your watch list in there. So you'll have like your current account positions. And when you do that, any position you have open in that account will show there. Now you can go to all account. If you click on that one, it'll show if you have, like, see, I've got 1, 2, 3. I got 4 accounts in Thinkorswim. So with those 4 accounts, I can actually click on all, and it will show me all of my transactions in there, which I'm not going to do. Social sentiment, you can do that one, and it says anything that's trending on social media and so forth. So if we click on that one, right now, these are the ones that are actually trending on it. If we go into fresh, I don't even know what this one is, but let's just click on it. See if it comes up. TOS has been having a little bit of difficulty popping up. So this one here, Tesla, there's a lot of social media about Tesla. Come down, look at this one here. You know, so you just chart it out accordingly, but that allows you to see whatever is actually hitting the social media pretty hard. I got Bud. I don't know what's hitting about that. That actually looks like a pretty good one that might be something to put on a playlist, because we hit our 200 here, it bounced up, we hit the 200, it bounced up, we come down and hit the 200 again. So to me, it looks like Bud may be a good one. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that to a watch list. Let's see, go back here. I'll add that to my watch list. Kind of watch that one. And let's see, if we go back to the scanner watch list, I can put that on there. So by looking at that, actually, just by doing this video, might have helped me make some money. So if you watch this, this is, what is today, the 13th, September 13th. So if you watch this today or tomorrow, you might be able to get you a good trade on Budweiser and Anheuser-Busch, Bud. So, but that's how you do your watch list. You can set up for like different scanners. I've got that one. If you have anything at all that you'd have in there, any kind of a scanner that you would be having up there to look for. You can also set up watch lists. Like I have one for day trades. That is the one that I have here. These are the underlines that I watch daily. There's a lot of in here that you would recognize, and then there's some you probably won't. If I'm in a trade on them, I'll post them in here so I can keep tabs on them. And one thing that you can do, once you get this in here, you want to know kind of what's what. So let's say we go into let's see here, all current, and then on this one I've got profit loss like at open for today, and then I've got profit loss percentage for total, and then I've got the percent change of the stock, and then I've got the mark as far as what it's selling for now, and then how much I actually have available. So if I went to sell it today, it would be worth X amount of dollars. So what you do is you go to this little cog here, and then you go to customize, and then these are the ones that I have on there. And I'll leave this screen up here just a few seconds. You can pause this, and then you can make your own. This is all that I care about. I don't care about the bid, ask, none of that stuff. I just want to know how much money I'm making on it. I want to know what percent I'm down or up on, and that's all I want to know about it. So that actually helps me out. And so you got watch list, how to make a watch list, and I showed you that. Like if you go into this one here, you can go ahead and create a watch list. Now when you create it, you can call it whatever you want. So we're going to call this the live video test. Okay, and then in here we could call this one we call Bud, and then we could call Tesla, and then we call American Airline, let's say Apple. And then once you do all those, then you save it, and then when you come in here, those will be there, and then you can change this to whatever color you want. Like I said, I keep all mine at yellow. If it's something to do with futures, sometimes I'll use it as a red, and then whenever I come over to trade and go to future trader, this shows me how much everything is as far as my futures. So if you're interested in knowing that, then what you do is, let's say we go back to this one, and you come over here to the dashboard. Okay, so if you do like phase scores, which not something you do on this, but just to show you something that would be there. So if you open it up and it's got a chart, well, you can take the chart off and then just do dashboard. When you do the dashboard, this number down here means you have to have $13,200 in your account in order to trade one mini future. And I'm not going to get into the details about futures, but this is how you would actually find out. When I come over here, I've got margin future rates. I saved this, so what I did was I set this up just like this, and let's just say, to give you an example, if I wanted to say I had 9 different windows. Let's see here, if I do 6 windows, let me do this will make it better. So if I come in here and let's say I have 6 underlines that I want to watch, so I do that 6 up here, so I'm coming down, I'm actually drawing it out. Actually that's 9. If I want 9, then I make 9 windows solid, click on it, and then I just type in the underlines I want. So say if I want Apple, and then I want Tesla, and just you keep on going through here, and then you leave these little links, leave those unlinked because you don't want those to change. Okay, and then you come up here to your chart style, you come down, you load the setting that you want. So in this one, I've got one that's actually called Flex, and using that Flex, it will actually put up that particular chart for it. Okay, so once you do that, you can set up like your trade. You don't need the trade, which actually shows up here what you're in, and then your active trader, that will bring up this over here. You can click all this stuff through here, all your bars. But typically I'll just leave a chart open for these. Now if I was going to make the future one, and to save a lot of typing, I'll just come back to the futures, and I save that as the margin futures. It's called margin rate futures. So if I'm ever curious about how much the margin rate is at the current time, I can just pull this one chart up and it will show me what they are, how much it is, that way I know what to trade. Now if you pull up on charts, you can come over here and pull it up and it will show you in charts as well. But usually on my futures, I'll go to trade, then come back to future trader, and that's what I'll look at. Now as far as all products, that's going to be your option chain, okay? So I might be going a little too fast. You can always pause this, you can go back, you can look at it, decide what works best for you. So let's see, if I go back into here, and then if I go back to, actually if I just go to one stock, and that's a weekly, and then if I come back, change that to say an hourly, just so I can see it better. This is gold, and I can change back to charting, so this actually will back to what I want. Now on your charting, I use different ones. So if you go to style, load style, and then you can see all of these in here that I use. Sometimes maybe I want this one here, so I'll go into a call put, and it will actually give me a little different look. So it kind of depends on how I'm trading, what I'm trading, and like the duration and so forth. It lets me know a little more detail of how I want to chart that out. So it depends on what mood I'm in. I don't always use the same charting all the time. They're all basically the same, but they look different. Maybe a little add here and there. But what I do is go in. Once you set something up the way you like, you come in and you save style. So when you click on save style, you pick what you want, you click include patterns and study set, and you click save. This one here is the exact same one that I had, so I saved it exactly. So now if I decide I want to do something with charting, because there's too much on here to chart. So if I go into charting, then let's say I go into something, let me just make up a ticker here. Let's see, let me do AAA, I don't even know what that is. No, that won't work. BBB. Let's do BDE or BDL. Okay, that's not a great one either. Trying to think. I'll do this one here. Okay, we'll use that one. That way I don't have anything on it. I guess I did have this. I've actually been on here looking at this before. So let's just say that I don't have that on there. I'll delete it. So in my charting, the only thing I'm looking at is a couple indicators. I got 3 moving averages, and that's all. Okay. So when I'm looking at the charting, I can actually see more of it. And if I go into like a daily, and again, there's no garbage on there really to deter me from charting this out. Now sometimes I will go ahead and take the all the indicators off. So if I take this one off, that one, see, I don't need that one. Yeah, I can take that off and take that one off and take that. So now if I put this up, now all I'll have is candles. So I could actually go in here, save this one, save style, and I'll call this charting blank. Okay, that way I know that there's nothing on there but just a blank screen. Now whenever I come in, let's say I load up a style and I'm on flex, and then I decide that I want to come in and go back to just charting something. So I go back to charting, go to blank, now I'm back to blank. So doing that allows me to have different charting systems set up. I may use one for options, I may use one for underlines, I may use one for Forex, I may use one for futures. Everyone may be different, but I typically chart the same on all of them. But it just depends on what mood I'm in. Like come down to, if I go into, say here's one, SPY money. This is like a basic one I have set up. It's got my TTM squeeze, RSI, It's got a VWAP, 2 moving averages, actually 3. There's a 208 and a 21, and then I've also got pivots. So if I come back in, if I'm trying to trade this, and I say I'm intraday trading, that's what you usually use pivots on. And let's see, if I go to 15, then I can kind of watch this and see if it is above that pivot, it's probably going to be calls, and it looks like all of our direction is going that way. And then we've got our VWAP here, and it's staying above the VWAP, so you know, our 200 is trying to turn up. So this is all in the 15-minute. So this will let me know kind of a general direction of it, okay? But if I'm scalping this, I might go into like a 5-minute, look at it, and then I can see more of it. So my VWAP is what I'm going to be concerned about. When you go into long trading, like a weekly, a VWAP does not work for you. It just won't even show up. The only thing you can do really is your moving averages, TTM squeeze, and this right here. According to this, it looks like we are probably kind of heading down on a weekly. If we look at a daily chart, looks like it's trying to stay right along the top of that 8, but our TTM squeeze is actually trying to come up a little bit. So by looking at the different charts that we save, it helps you decide what you want to do, how you're wanting to trade it. Are you wanting to scalp it? Are you wanting to do an overnight swing? Or you want to do a weekly swing? Or are you looking for something more like a month later? So those charts will help you out as far as what you want to do. Now your drawing tools, you can access them right here, or you can just click your mouse button, the center scroll button, and then it will pull down and show you different ones. So you might want a rectangle. You might want to do a rectangle. So you're going to click once, let off, and then click again, and then that will put in that rectangle. Now if you want to move it, you come up to your pointer and you grab it and you just move it around. Move it where you want it, okay? So, and then like just there, I moved it, and let's say I moved this down here, but I thought, no, I don't want to move it there. So I hit Control Z, as in zebra, and it will put it back. You hit it again, and it will go back one more. Hit it again, and it will go again. So if you notice, like, if we do a rectangle, there's 1, 2, 3, and then when we move it, that would be 4. Okay, so I'm going to hit my Z 4 times. So 1 will put it back, 2 will take that one away, 3 take it away, 4 it takes it away. It takes you all the way back. You keep on doing that, and it'll just keep on going backward. Control Z is in zebra. Your trend tool, the trend tool, I mean, most people know you just click where you want to start, click up there. You can right click, click edit properties, and then you can go in here and you can change that to how you want it to look. So maybe you wanted a thicker one, maybe you wanted a different color. Once you set that up, you can hit save default, and it will always stay that way. So if you're going to be charting and you want everything to look like this every time you click on that, then it will stay there. Where I did not click save default, so it goes back to my original default. That's the colors that I choose because that does not blend in with this over here. So that light green just stands out for me. So there's 2 things. I'm going to hit Control Z twice. 1, 2, 3, and that took it all the way back. Okay. Your price level tool, yeah, the same thing. You find out where you want, you click on it, double click actually, and then you can right click it. You can choose what you want. I keep mine on a dotted line, and that just allows me to know that that is a support and resistance. Sometimes I will come in and I will change this. If it's going to be a support, I'll put it as a green, and then if I do another one, and I might change this one to a red. Now the green is a typical buy, and your red is a typical sell. So even if you're going to short, you're still going to sell it. Once it gets up here, you'll sell it to short it, and when you're down here, you're going to buy it to green. And you know, if you sell something, it's typically going to be like a red area of your target where you're going. That's how I come up with the red and green. But you use what you want. So I'm going to change these back, and like your Fibonacci retracements. Let's say you start there and you come down to here. So we're going to reduce this down. You can see I've got different settings on my different colors and stuff. I'm not really concerned about the gray ones. I'm more concerned about the green, is what I call the money. Blue is getting cool, it's getting close to there. And then our 38 is what I have a yellow for warning. So that's just kind of what I go by. You can do what you want. But when you go in here, you can add up to this much. You can't add any more than here, or else I'd have more. But you can type in whatever Fibonacci's you want. You can come over here and you click what color you want it. If you want all these the same color, then you just go ahead and put set color for all curves. And once you do that, it'll come in. Now they're all there. Okay, but we're not going to do that. You can change the lines how you want it to appear, whether if you want them to be a dash or a long dash or whichever. So you can do Fibonacci's that way. I was trying to think of something else. Oh, this is very important. Once you get all your settings all done, you need to come up to setup, and you want to save your workspace as, okay? And then you're going to go ahead and call it whatever you want. My name's Brad, so I'll just call mine Brad. Now, if you're going to redo your computer, you need to go in to the TOS files. Just so if you go back into like computer and look for TOS and stuff, you want to find that workspace and you want to save it to a thumb drive or something. That way, when you redo your computer, you can just go ahead and add that file back in, and then when you load up TOS again, you come in here and then you go ahead and see here. If we go, it'll actually show up right here, and then when you click there, then it will come back and all your settings will be there. But if you don't do that, you're going to lose them. And I was trying to think of something else that that I use on here. Let's see. Let me click on a few things. Oh, one thing. This is actually pretty good. If you're trading and you're wanting this option chain, you open up the option chain. You click on Detach Now, and now it's going to show that. So on your screen, it's not showing that. Let's see here. Let me add that in. Let's see here. Take me just a second here. Window capture. And yep, we're going to do that one. So there we go. Alright, so now it's showing this window capture here. And actually, it's not showing on the screen. Let's see, why is that not showing on the screen? Yeah, it is. There it is. It's showing it. So we are showing the window capture, and this is it doesn't show it quite the way I want here. Let's see if I go back over here and go to charts. There we go. So now we've got a chart, and we're going to make this one here a little smaller. So if you were wanting to trade the options on this, you could actually detach this screen here, and by detaching that screen, let's see, actually, let me pull it back up. If you're detaching this screen here, so you could have this on a different monitor, and then by having that on a different monitor, that will allow you to be able to trade it out. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this one. We don't need that anymore. There we go. It's hard to do this when you're trying to use a program to show you what we're doing, but you could actually have that detached. So if you could watch a chart, and then you could just be trading that option. And so that's one thing you can do. You can detach screens, market watch, analyze. There's a lot of things up here. I'm not going to get into that. It's too much. That's more specialty. I'm just trying to show you some tips and tricks. If I do, I think that's pretty much about it as far as like the major things I do to help charting and so forth. Probably the biggest thing that people don't understand is how to utilize this screen. just by double clicking that, and we're going to remove that drawing. But double clicking this over here just allow you to be able to move things around like this. That's probably the biggest thing. Probably one of the biggest ones I get asked is this up here. So that will help you out. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. We also have different courses, and if you look in the description, you'll see SpyMoneyLLC.com. Go there. It's got a lot of information talking about our Discord channel, also talking about the courses that we have available to help you learn how to trade futures and options, and should help you out. Just keep an eye out. We will do more videos and things on Thinkorswim. I use Trade-O-Bait too, so there's some things I can show you on Trade-O-Bait as well. I do like the Thinkorswim platform very well. That's where I do all my charting. I think it's just much easier. It's also good for the scanner settings, and maybe I'll do one just talking about scanners. I don't want to keep these videos that long, so I hope that helps you. And just like I said, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.